This is my narrated presentation for the submission to item 4. I did not use a tool like PowerPoint. I wanted to use possibly Prezi but decided against it. I do use Prezi quite a bit. I thought I would use the presentation tool of a package I use. It's OpenOffice from Apache. It's a free software package that contains a Office kind of suite of products. And I thought this would challenge me a bit, so I decided to use this as the starting tool. I thought the concept of a narrated presentation didn't really matter in terms of which package was used. The idea was more about getting a presentation put together consisting of slides and a narrated soundtrack, which is what I'm doing. This was my challenge to see if I could use relatively unfamiliar pieces of software to achieve the goal. This is the interface of Apache OpenOffice. As you can see, it is a Office type of package. It has a word processor, text documents, a spreadsheet, a presentation piece of software, a drawing tool, a database, and a formula generator. It has a range of templates. It's actually a pretty good tool for being a free presentation tool, actual Office package, not only presentation tool. I suggest you try it if you haven't already done so. To create my soundtrack for each slide, I actually used another free tool called Audacity. I'm sure many of you are familiar with this tool. It is both PC and Macintosh based. It's a free audio recording tool. It is actually quite sophisticated, and you can do a lot more than just the simple recordings. It allows you to edit the sound files, save them in many different formats. And it is actually quite an outstanding little package for being a free piece of software. Again, if you haven't looked at it, please have a look at it. It is easy to use and does a lot of audio work. Okay, here goes. I am going to do a slam dunk. I think I might have missed the ball there, but I'll give it a try. I may be asking a little bit too much of the tools. I'm not sure. I'm going to do my presentation and try and stitch together the soundtrack to the presentation by creating individual sound files for each slide. The way I started off was to open my presentation software, create my 20 slides with some notes and pictures. Again, the idea here is not really to show the tools, but to try and get these presentations together for the purpose of the exercise. And then I recorded the segments for each slide as individual sound files using Audacity, and I'm going to place them together once I'm done. There are some storm clouds on the horizon. I'm not too sure how I'm going to synchronize the timing between the slides and the sound. Audacity does have a time tracking device, so you can actually see how your sound is proceeding in terms of time. Hopefully the granularity of the sound timekeeping and the slide timekeeping work out well together. The results of the slide presentation are easily controlled, as in you can put in controls with fades and slide wipe-throughs and all different effects, and you can have your text come in and out at different times. It's going to be a little bit more difficult to control the sound. I think having something like PowerPoint 2010, which has the sound embedded in the tool itself, could be a better way to go. I also think perhaps a better way to go than making sound files for each slide would be doing the sound through the screencast when you finally do the whole screencast of the presentation. But perhaps that would not give you the granularity of being able to change the sound in one particular slide, or to actually add slides or modify slides as needed. Perhaps I've bitten off a little bit more than I can chew here. I might be in a bit of trouble. I may end up being chewed or eaten by it rather than me having bitten off too much to chew, it looks like. As always, there's a bit of sunlight at the end of the tunnel. I can actually start to see the logic behind the doing of the slides and the sound separately. Possibly there are some advantages, I guess. I'll probably do a bit of a write-up after completing the slides. Sunlight or snow or hail, I don't know. We'll see what happens. I'm now in a bit of a snowstorm, feeling a bit out of context. I guess it's just getting used to the tools and working with them side by side. I've deliberately left a few slides using the tools, and the more you get used to them, the easier it really becomes. It is actually quite an easy exercise. I do have to associate others. Each sound file. Now, as you've seen through the much better now, getting much more used to doing the associating. It's getting easier by the slide actually. I've deliberately left a few slides without any sound to them, just so that I can granularly demonstrate that I do have sound in some and not in others. I've now, as you've seen through the images, reached Mars, conquered the planet. Let's move on to the next planet, I guess. What's the next goal?
That's the recording up until this point. I guess it's a little bit of learning curve. There have been a little bit of glitches that I couldn't quite control, but it's reasonable. I'd appreciate your feedback on this. Thank you very much.